Hello everyone, all hope you had a very wonderful, blessed day and a very great day indeed, guys. As you can see, guys, the weather is quietly beautiful and cloudy and sunny as it is today. But despite that, guys, I'm very grateful for you guys in viewing and watching my episodes. It gratefully, completely means a lot to me, as in superly means a lot to me. I'm so grateful for you guys, and also God bless you all, guys. On today's episode, we're going to speak about an assassin and a supervillain known as Wall Light, who is a member of the Order of Darkness that wants to restore power to the sacred world and to the sacred universe and to humanity and to planet Earth and to the known universe as well. And that also works on the behalf of an ancient group of supervillains known as the Founders, who see themselves the sole rulers of the cosmos and of the universe as well. So let's get on to it. In Wallight's early life, he's been living on the ancient ruins, of the ancient temples that are quietly destroyed beyond the Great Secretive War. On that time, he exactly founded a protege of known as Lydia, who was a very powerful, sinister overseer witch with the power to oversee the future and also with the great abilities to advise and also giving advice and also helping out with the experiment. To this end point, Warlight exactly decided to train Aledia to becoming the deadliest and most powerful seer and the most greater witch assassin ever possible. And he even gave Aledia an assignment and also an mission of her own so that she will have to exactly complete it for him. The mission exactly had three missions, had three phases. The first was to exactly help the Vampire King and the vampires to become the sole ruler of the sacred world and of the sacred universe in order for their species to become the dominant sole species across the known universe and across the rest of sacred existence. And the last and third phase was to make sure that the vampires become the sole rulers of humanity and of the known universe and of the rest of the Four Nation Hunters, so that the Vampire King can exactly rule the cosmos and also the rest of the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans in the process as well. And Lydia exactly told Warlight that she will complete his task and his missions to making sure that the vampires remain the dominant species throughout the sacred universe and throughout the supernatural race and throughout the alien races and throughout the superhuman races, which enforced him should exactly complete his command and also as his wishes. And Warlight was completely very happy and very enlightened. During at that time, Warlight met up with the mechanists and with engineers, and he told them to design him a fleet of hot air balloons and a fleet of warships that'll be under his sole control, and a fleet of warships and a fleet of airships that'll be soon be under his control, that he'll be exactly taking them to invade and stage raids on simultaneous worlds and clans and villages across the known worlds. And the mechanists and the other engineers agreed that would exactly design him the war balloons and also the airship fleet and also the warships as well, which will create a huge armada, an unknown armada of Warlight, which Warlight will exactly soon be able to exactly command at his great will and his great expertise. During at that time as well, Warlight exactly began invading the other worlds and the other civilization on the last century, as he attacked and destroyed the other worlds with his airship fleet and with his warships and with his hot air balloons, and he began attacking the sacred tribes of the fairies and of the witches and of the druids, and he began exactly extracting and taking all the elements and all the resources and all the crystals at will, meaning by staging raids on those planets. He told these tribes and planets that Warlight is the sole leader and the ruler of those clans of the known world, and that the Shadow Empire and the Red Empire and Lord Shadowjack's Empire and Dark Master's Empire has no claim to these worlds or territories that would exactly fall under his control. To this end, Warlight exactly left a fleet of his soldiers on the ground and a fleet of warships on the atmosphere, on the worlds, on the planet, to make sure that he fully controls them. He exactly returned to his central headquarters, which was an ancient crystal, which was an ancient dark crystal temple, where he was able to exactly convene, with the followers of darkness, known as the Witches of Darkness, with Darkron and also on her sisters, and also with the lightning witches and the thunder witches as well, and told him that he's making great progress with these plans and everything else is quietly rising to the occasion, and that he will fully soon or later ascend and rise to power, on another. Darkon exactly advised Warlight that his plan is very dangerous and very destructive, and that the original Lord of Magic will destroy it or either sabotage it because he's more powerful and more dangerous than any foe and any villain that they've ever successfully faced. They need to exactly be careful of him and not to anger him or face or risk facing the worth of the original Lord of Magic. And Warlight exactly reassured the powerful magic users and the witches that he has the situation under control as well. During at that time, Warlight began exactly attacking the other worlds and the other civilization with his airship fleet, unaware that the original Lord of Magic and the Shadow Empire warlords completely exactly prepared already in order to take down his fleet of warships and battle cruisers and his fleet of air balloons, were to completely able to take down completely and able to destroy them and decimate them completely. Warlight exactly fought back to the tooth and nail to take down these Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, but it was completely overmatched and overpowered as well within a battle, and was completely taken to the central headquarters of the Shadow Empire, where the original Magic exactly remained on the throne. Warlight exactly was presented by the Shadow Empire warlords to the original Magic, and the original Magic gave Warlight a warning, a very powerful warning, to never attack those worlds or planets, as he has great plans for those civilizations and for the known worlds and for the rest of sacred existence, that the extermination of the supernaturals, aliens, and the superhuman, and the 4 nation hunters and the 5 nation hunters will soon bear fruit one way or another. And he exactly ordered him to never disobey his direct order, otherwise he'll face his worth and his power. And Warlight was forced to agree on that matter, which he had no choice. Over the following years, Warlight remained within his sacred chambers, meditating, and also still meditating within his sacred chambers, able to exactly keep balance of everything else. He told his forces and his followers to remain low, to keep building more powerful battle airships, more powerful and high technological advanced airships and battle cruisers and battleships, and highly evolved hot air balloons as well, that are quite designed for war, and also for taking over planets and civilization in the process as well. During at that time as well, on the 1st of February, when the original death of the Lord of Magic created a power vacuum within the Shadow Empire. Every other Shadow Empire warlord and commander were secretly forming alliance with ancient groups of supervillains, such as the Court of Nature, the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, the Order of the Seven, and also the founders, the Unholy Alliance, the Sacred Circle, and Sacred Five as well. Secretly exactly forming alliance with those ancient groups of supervillains and secretly supplying them with destructive and powerful Shadow Empire technology. In return, these ancient secret groups of supervillains will continue exactly supplying them more worlds and more planets that are under their sole control. During at that time, on the 10th of February, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders exactly arrived on Warlight's island, on Warlight on Warlight on Warlight on Warlight's ancient temple, Warlight's island temple, and exactly decided that they will exactly submit to him and exactly supply him with more technology, with more powerful, compatible, destructive technology for his forces and for his fleet. And Warlight was completely very happy and very much completely pleased with this, and successfully very pleased with this. On the 20th of February, Warlight and the rest of his forces prepared to exactly wipe out the Universal Founders and were ready to take them down once and for all, which they exactly began an all-out ambush, and the Universal Founders walked directly into an ambush, and Warlight and his forces were completely ready to take them down and completely ready to wipe them out completely with a directive attack with highly equipped and destructive Shadow Empire technology. The forces exactly marshaled up their troops, and so did the Universal Founders. They continued to battle the forces of evil and continued to take down key civil enemies. Warlight decided to disappear within the battle and was never after seen again. His forces were all apprehended and were ultimately sentenced directly into the Astral Prison to remain in custody for their crimes against the sacred world and against the sacred universe, which the Astral Prison is a very much of a sacred sacred. It's a very much of a sacred prison which is designed to hold and house super criminals and also as well excuse me, and also as well super villains and dark druids and evil warlocks and evil witches and faithful and unknown warlocks and evil warlords and warlocks and shadow empire commanders and deadly super criminals as well. On the 9th of March, Warlight exactly began to convene with the witches, with the sacred, and with an ancient secret society of powerful, formidable, ancient, dark, powerful magic users, the ones who exactly banished the fallen. They call themselves the Order of the Four. They call themselves the Order of the Four, which is an ancient, powerful group of dark magic users and an ancient secret society that has existed for many millennia and for many centuries that maintains the cosmic balance of power and everything else within its jurisdiction. Despite this, exactly, Warlight convened with these four dark magic users, and the four dark magic users exactly told Warlight that his mission is exactly taking place, and the four dark magic users warned to never underestimate the universal hero's ability or the universal founder's ability or any of the United Heroes' ability in thwarting his operation and as well his successful plans. And Warlight completely agreed with that he will never make that mistake ever again, and he will never make that same mistake ever again. That he learned the hard way that heroes like these can never be underestimated and that they can only cause more trouble than they ever brought since he learned the hard way. And the four dark and powerful magic users were successfully reassured, and they were able to tell Warlight that their alias should now be known as Mr. Shadow, which is now their alias. They work under a new alias in order to keep their secret society within the shadows of the sacred world and within the shadows of sacred reality as well, in order for them to operate within the shadows and within full secrecy. So the alias name of the organization of this society is Mr. Shadow, and Warlight was completely very enlightened that the four powerful dark magic users are now known as Mr. Shadow, or rather the alias of the society is now known by Mr. Shadow as well. On the 20th of March, Warlight exactly and his forces continued to designing destructive and powerful, highly advanced airship fleets and highly advanced airship fleets and war balloons and highly destructive battle cruisers and battleships. And Warlight was very completely happy that his forces are successfully rising to the occasion and are fully exactly beginning a plan point for a new attack as well. On the 18th of April, Warlight completely met up with the warlords and commanders within his sacred chambers with the geographical map of the sacred worlds and of the sacred nations and tribes and clan of the supernaturals and aliens and superhumans, where the warlords exactly told Warlight that the perfect time for them to exactly strike and attack is exactly precisely now, which they exactly have to act now. Warlight exactly reassured the warlords and the commanders that attacking now will be quite to be a suicide mission, especially with the new rise of the new Lolo Magic and his new ancient group known as the Order of Power that wants to exterminate and wipe out the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans and the universal heroes and the United Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition out of the way. But despite that, exactly, Warlight told the warlords and the commanders that he can successfully use that to his advantage in order to exactly further his alternative goal and also in his mission as well in the process, which can successfully exactly work for him. On the 20th of April, Warlight and exactly in a fleet of warships exactly entered across the destroyed planets and civilizations and entered the ruins of a destroyed planets and civilizations where they encountered an ancient group of powerful dark magic users known as the Seconds, and Warlight exactly created a pact and a truce with these powerful dark magic users that if they can exactly supply him with their dark crystals and weapons and everything else, he will provide this ancient group of dark magic users known as the Seconds with a basis of operation and with a place for them to successfully operate from. And the dark magic users of the Seconds agreed to this, and they agreed to exactly help Warlight accomplish his goal and also his ambition as well. And they agreed to supply him with destructive and highly compatible crystal technology, and also Warlight completely asked for their expertise and their dark magic expertise to creating powerful, highly condensed, highly powerful and highly destructive advanced technology. And the four powerful dark magic users known as the Seconds completely agreed that they will exactly do so as long as they exactly get the basis of operation for them to successfully exactly work in full secrecy as well. And they all completely agreed and shook hands together as one. On on the 16th of May, Wallite completely returned to his temple, to his island temple, where he was able to exactly meditate in full secrecy until Wishcaster appeared out of nowhere and told Wallite that Silverface will exactly soon be recruiting him to his ancient organization, to work on the behalf of the ancient groups of supervillain known as the Founders, who want to become the sole rulers of the cosmos of the rest of the universe, which in other words could disrupt his efforts and as well as his plan. And Wallite decided that it's time that he exactly joins the battle and forms an alliance with the other ancient groups of supervillains and also works for them and becoming their associate and as well as the little pawn and master. He told Wishcaster that he appreciates the insight and also the information as well, and that he's very quietly glad to tell Wishcaster looking out for him. And Wishcaster completely disappeared from the shadows and was never after all seen again. On the 9th of June, Wallite met up with his protege Aledia, and Aledia told him everything else is going according to plan. That's the way it's meant to be. The vampires are quickly beginning in order to take their rightful places and everything else, and Jamie has completely been demoted from his position, since the Vampire King has quietly moved him out of place, and the vampires are quietly exactly killing all the other supernaturals, all the other aliens and superhumans in order to show their hand and their power, and their worth and their ability, and that everything, and that the sacred world will soon be falling under the vampires' territory, will soon be falling under the vampires' control, and the 4 Nation Hunters won't have any power or abilities, or the universal heroes or the world heroes or the universal founders or the universal monster heroes won't have the ability or power in order to stop exactly what's coming. And Wallite was completely satisfied and very completely intrigued with that, as in reluctantly, as he told Olivia to keep working for the vampires and to keep him informed and also updating him on everything the Vampire King and his proteges are completely up to, and to make sure that the vampire race remains the dominant ruling species of the sacred world and of the sacred universe and of the known universe, in order to move the worlds, the witches, druids, fairies, warlocks and warlords and commanders and 4 Nation Hunters and 9 Nation Hunters, 10 Nation Hunters, 100 Nation Hunters as well out of the process, so they can become the sole rulers of the sacred world and of the rest of sacred existence in the process. And Lydia completely disappeared, and so did Wallite as well, completely. On the 10th of July, Wallite was completely exactly meditating within his sacred island, until Silverface completely exactly revealed himself and decided to exactly fight Silverface head on a swordsmanship combat and also in hand-to-hand combat, and realizing that the both of them were quietly, evenly matched against fighting each other, and Silverface told Wallite that he has a proposition for him to join his secretive organization that exactly wants to restore power and balance to the sacred world and to the sacred universe and to the rest of humanity in the process as well. And Wallite exactly told him what will he benefit from this: true power and true control over cities, worlds, planets, and civilizations, and tribes and clans and everything else above that. He will have total control as well, and that he will be able to benefit. And Wallite completely exactly shook hands with Silverface and told him that his resources are the order of darkness for him to personally exactly use. And Silverface was completely happy and very enlightened with that. On the 21 of July, Wallite exactly participated on a mission where one of his forces were completely apprehended, and he just actually completely exactly rescued them, as he completely exactly entered the Astro prison to meet up with Professor Wu and told him that he needs to release his operatives. In secrecy, he will supply Professor Wu with more technology and more highly combustible and destructive technology, and also in a very powerful ancient assassin who's exactly been working for him in his behalf. And Professor Wu completely agreed and shook hands with Wallite. Then that is all he needs. Then is all a powerful assassin will exactly be his right-hand man and will exactly do exactly as he asked him to do. And he completely shook hands with Wallite, and Wallite was completely very robustly happy and very pleased with that. On the 10th of August, Warlight attended a video conference of the members of the Order of Darkness where Silverface exactly told the members of the Order of Darkness that they should fulfill their marital their duties and also in their missions and their assignment, and that the founders want their goals to be completed and happily to be adjusted, and everything else needs to go according to plan. The spies quietly being implemented within the Universal Heroes, and everything else will go according to plan the way it's supposed to. They'll be able to get intelligence and information on the Universal Earth Heroes and the Universal Heroes and of the Intergalactic Coalition, since it's now compromised and under the influence of the new Lord of Magic and his new ancient secret society. Despite that, Silverface exactly told the members of the Order of Darkness that they should exactly carry out their duties and their main purposes in order to further their own goals and ambition. But at this point, the organization known as the Order of Darkness should fulfill its central command and goal to restoring power to the sacred world and to the rest of humanity and also to the sacred universe. And Warlight was completely very happy and very quietly completely agreeing with that, as well as in superly agreeing with that as well. On the 15th of August, Warlight was training his protégés on his sacred island base of headquarters, where he was able to teach them the methods of using the sword, of using the swords in a swordsmanship training program and everything else. And he told them everything else that they needed to learn, everything else, and the protégés completely accepted Warlight as their new master and also as their new leader as well. On the 9th of September, Warlight exactly completely met up with the 4 dark, powerful magic users again, which was a dark druid, a dark witch, a dark faithful, and a dark sister, who are known as the Order of the Four, and who are willing to exactly maintain the cosmic balance of power by any means necessary. That's their goal and that's their purpose. That's their sole goal and purpose. And these 4 dark magic users are very intelligent and are very powerful and are very ruthless and cruel in nature. They are the ones that created the ice creature for you guys, in order for you guys just to know that. Despite that, Warlight exactly met up with the 4 dark magic users in his sacred island temple at the time on the 9th of September, and told them that everything else is going according to plan. The dark sister exactly told Warlight that they managed to get the attention of the world heroes, and that the alias Mr. Shadow is completely exactly taking phase, and that they quietly able to apprehend Dr. Star and was ultimately sentenced to the sacred prison. In other words, the world heroes need to be dealt with and they need to be effectively removed out of the way, meaning in other words, they have to be killed. And Warlight completely agreed that he has a perfect plan in order to move the world heroes out of the way. And the 4 dark powerful magic users exactly wanted to see how this will exactly go. And the other dark magic user of the seconds exactly appeared and reassured the 4 dark magic users that everything else is in order and also going according to plan, that with the rift created between master and student, between the rift between created master and student with Lord Jet and also with Lord Clay that are quietly fighting at each other, is exactly the perfect opportunity for them to exactly strike now in order to wipe out the world heroes once and for all. And Warlight completely agreed with that as well. On the 15th of September, as the world heroes exactly tried to uncover more clues and everything else about this sinister organization, unaware that there was an ambush quietly ahead, and very powerful operatives and assassins who are highly trained and highly equipped with Shadow Empire technology. And Warlight completely appeared from the shadows and told the world heroes that this is the end for the world for them, and that they had enough of their interference, and that it's time for them to be wiped out. The world heroes completely marshaled up their troops and completely took down the enemy and completely followed up against the enemy. And Warlight decided to disappear within the battle, and he completely was never seen again. The world heroes captured several enemies, were ultimately sentenced to the sacred prison, which is similar to the astral prison, designed to house super criminals, traitors, supervillains, warlords, evil warlocks and druids and witches and faithful and commanders and supervillains as well, sentenced directly to the sacred prison to remain in custody for their crimes against the sacred world and against the rest of humanity and against the rest of sacred existence in the process as well. Despite this, Warlight convened with the 4 dark magic users in his ancient temple on the 7th of October. On the 7th of October, where he was able to exactly tell them that the plan didn't go quietly as planned, or didn't exactly go quietly as the plan was meant to be exactly. The dark sister exactly told Warlight that the plan exactly went the way it's exactly had to go down, and that the situation is exactly perfectly under control. Now the game will have to roll itself out. They have to focus their true main intentions to stopping the war between the Shadow Empire and the Star Empire that are quietly waging war against each other, which are willing to exactly dominate their own people and they come to the sacred world and also to the sacred universe. And by using the Intergalactic Coalition and the Four Nation Hunter to this level will be the best idea in order to cripple the Shadow Empire that's under the current leadership of Red Bolt and also the founder and leader of the Dark Order that's been manipulating wars and conflicts and controlling known worlds and planets in the process as well, who's a supervillain as well, and the current leader of the original Shadow Empire that's willing to wage war with the Star Empire, with the founder and the leader of the Star Prince and the Star Witch Queen, for sole control over the sacred universe. Despite that, Warlight completely agreed with the four dark magic users that it's time that they use these heroes to their advantage as well. On the 9th of November, Warlight completely met up with Silverface and told him that everything else is going according to plan, the way it's supposed to be. The incursion has been set and the pawns have been quietly set in motion and the schedule is quietly going the way it's needed to be. And Silverface was very quietly happy that Warlight has finally told him everything and has quietly kept him on the loop and quietly decided to update him as well. Silverface even told Warlight that he will supply him with engineers and also with the mechanist and also with an ancient temple of his new base of operation where he can successfully exactly operate from in full secrecy. And Warlight exactly told Silverface that his greatest enemy within the Universal heroes is Warboy and also Universal and also the Universal Magic heroes and also Warboy and Firebird. They are his true primal targets and they have to be taken out and they have to be successfully removed out of the way completely. And Silverface shook hands with Warlight, demonstrating that their partnership still holds purpose and that the association together is the reason that they're still standing. Despite this, guys, Warlight is completely ruthless, as in very, very ruthless and very ambitious. His ambition is a reason his ancient groups of mercenaries and soldiers has able to remain alive for many years and for many years. He has trained a protege known as a Lydia under his control in order to infiltrate the vampire race and the vampire organization known as the Vampire Cell in order for her to exactly help the vampires fulfill their goals and to fulfill their goals and their plans so that their goals and their plans could bear fruit for sole control over the sacred world and over the rest of sacred existence. He also believes that the Vampire King is the sole ruler of the cosmos and is willing to make sure that the vampire race remains the dominant race throughout the sacred world and throughout the rest of sacred existence. Despite this, guys, Warlight maintains his usual basis of operation as well as his central headquarters, which is an island temple and also another crystal temple, which is quietly on the far distance of the fringes of the sacred world and the rest of sacred existence. And he uses his base of operations to keep his group of mercenaries and villains, to keep his group of assassins and mercenaries and proteges quietly to work in full secrecy and also to train in full secrecy. He even forms a secretive alliances with powerful ancient groups of dark magic users known as the Order of the Four, willing to exactly help them further their own goal in order for him to further his own plans and also in his greater galactic plans so that he can make sure that he rules and conquers the known worlds and known civilization and process. He has a huge fleet of airships and a fleet of battle cruisers and a fleet of battleships and a fleet of hot air balloons at his disposal, and a huge army of soldiers and warriors at his beck and call, and a huge army of assassins and mercenaries at his beck and call. He even formed a formidable alliance with the warlords and commanders and warlocks in order for them to exactly help him create a powerful strategical invasion against the Intergalactic Coalition in order for them to exactly clash and fight up against them. Despite this, he even forms another secretive alliance with an ancient groups of other dark magic users known as the Seconds, who exactly formerly worked for the Shadow Empire now and who are currently working for Warlight as partners and are willing to exactly supply him with destructive compatible technology in return for Warlight to exactly provide them the base of operations such as ancient crystal temples for them to operate from in full secrecy. Despite this, Warlight even forms a secretive alliances with the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders in return for them to exactly provide him with intelligence and also supplying him with destructive technology so that the Shadow Empire warlords will remain loyal and also well connected to him and the Order of Darkness. He believes in the Order of Darkness's goals to restore power to the sacred world and to the sacred universe, and also as well as the founders becoming the sole rulers of the cosmos of the rest of sacred existence. He's very smart and very intelligent, very skilled in hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship, shurikens, agility, and endurance, and also with super hearing and super speed and super strength, and very skilled at disappearing and reappearing at will. He's incredibly smart and very intelligent and very ruthless and cruel and very cunning. He loves the thrill of battle, and he learns from his abilities never to underestimate the world heroes or the universal heroes or the Four Nation Hunters' abilities in thwarting his operation, and as well as his plans for sole control over other worlds and other civilizations in the process, so that he can become the sole dominant ruler of the conquered worlds and of the civilization that have been conquered, and placing them under his sole control and care. And he's willing to make sure that the founders remain the sole rulers of the cosmos, and as well the Order of Darkness was able to restore power, and also in its common goal. He's an associate of Silverface and a member of the Order of Darkness that's willing to restore power to the sacred world and to the rest of sacred existence that works on the behalf of an ancient group of supervillains known as the Founders as well. And he's also formed a secretive alliance with an ancient group of powerful dark magic users known as the Order of the Four that maintains the cosmic balance of power as well, and also formed a formidable alliance with the other dark magic users known as the Seconds, who provides them the basis of operation in return for them to supply him with destructive and highly compatible crystal technology as well. Despite this, he's very ambitious, smart, clever, cunning, maintains his usual basis of operation, such as his central headquarters as known as his island temple, and many other temples and many other bases of operation for him to successfully work within a shadow. He trained his personal highly prodigy known as Lydia, who is a powerful overseer witch, or who's a seer who can see the future and predict everything else, and a very deadly assassin and ruthless mercenary. Gave her 3 assignments to help the vampires in the Vampire King to become the sole rulers of the sacred world and of the sacred universe in the process as well. She's very ruthless and very powerful and very cruel in nature. Warlight has four prodigies and many students and an army of soldiers and assassins and warriors at his beck and call. He trains them with great humility and with great respect, and they view him and respect him as a master. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. As you can see, the gardening people are quietly here, and also as well as Universe is quietly here with me. But despite that, guys, I'll also be have a wonderful, blessed evening and a day. I'll be able to upload tomorrow's video on Monday, but the rest of you are watching Shorts, you receive tomorrow's video on Shorts. Have a blessed day and an afternoon. I will exactly see you tomorrow as well. Take care and goodbye. God bless you all. Bye.